Technically, genocide is a term that refers to human targets. But there is also the term ecocide, which is the massive environmental destruction by humans. Well, there is a fitting answer that involves both terms. I present to you the mass execution of the American bison. Never in history has there been a more massive extermination of animals. The bison genocide refers to the mass killing of bison that occurred in North America in the late 19th century. This slaughter was carried out by white hunters and is one of the darkest episodes in the history of the United States. These animals were not killed for food, nor for urgent needs. There was also no intention of making jewelry or clothing like beaver hats made from beaver pelts. No. These animals were killed by the tens of millions to eradicate their main predator. Bison were hunted en masse for their hides, which were very valuable at the time, as well as their meat, a primary food source for many Native American tribes. By reducing the bison population, the United States government attempted to weaken Native tribes and force them to surrender and move on to reservations. The expansion of railroads across North America also encouraged the slaughter of bison, as herds often damaged railroad tracks and disrupted transportation. The slaughter of bison led to the devastation of the North American grassland ecosystem. Bison are a keystone species that play a vital role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Their loss affected many other species and changed the landscape of the grasslands. The killing of bison was also used as a political tool to control Native Americans. By destroying their primary source of food and supplies, the U.S. government attempted to force Native tribes to move onto reservations and stop their resistance to Western expansion. Hunters used long-range rifles to shoot bison from a distance, often from horseback or from moving railroad cars. This allowed for the slaughter of large numbers of bison quickly and efficiently. Workers building railroads across the United States also played a role in the slaughter of bison. In addition to disrupting railroad tracks, bison herds often interfered with the construction of the tracks, so workers killed the bison to reduce the disruption. Soldiers also engaged in bison slaughter as part of a strategy to weaken Native Americans. By reducing the bison population, they attempted to destroy the Native tribes' primary food source and force them onto reservations. Some elites and tourists also participated in bison slaughter as a form of sport or entertainment, often using trains as hunting platforms. In the book American Buffalo, Steve Rinella describes how hunters stalked bison herds, followed by other herds, and hundreds of millions of American buffalo were wiped out in a matter of years. In fact, if the definition of extinction is the removal of a species from its native range, then the bison has been completely wiped out in America. In the mid-1800s, it was estimated that there were between 30 to 60 million bison in North America. However, by the early 20th century, this number had dropped drastically to only a few hundred. Conservation efforts were made to save the species from extinction, and the bison population began to recover gradually.